very well. Even some of those who sat next to the body of Hussain, who sat on the chest of Hussain, who kicked Hussain, while they were killing Abu Abdullah, they were calling Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Can you imagine that? Somebody saying Allahu Akbar and butchering the grandson of the Prophet.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. For the purification of our hearts and hastening of the reappearance of our beloved, the 12th Imam, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Once again, my dear brothers and sisters, Sa'imin, those observing the fasting of the holy month of Ramadan, we sincerely thank Almighty Allah for yet again giving us an opportunity in this holy month to continue seeking the understanding of our faith with the sole aim of connecting with Almighty Allah. Last night, my dear brothers and sisters, we looked at the relationship of our beloved Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba and the Holy Quran. And we encouraged one and all in our own small ways to follow and emulate the footsteps of this great Imam when it comes to the Holy Quran. Before we proceed with tonight's discourse, allow me, brothers and sisters, to quote one profound tradition from Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba, who no doubt, as we mentioned before, was the Imam of the time of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba paved the way for Imam al-Hussain. Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam honored and respected Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba because he was his Imam. You know what Imam said? Inna haza al-Quran yaji'u yawm al-qiyamah qa'idan sa'iqan. Said indeed this Quran will come on the day of Qiyamah as a leader and as a driver. يقود قوما إلى الجنة. It will lead some group to heaven. أحلوا حلاله وحرموا حرامه وآمنوا بمتشابهه. Because they upheld the halal of Allah and upheld the haram of Allah and believe in the verses of the Holy Quran, even if it is unclear verses. وَيَسُوقُ قَوْمًا إِلَى النَّارِ. And the same Quran will drive some people to the hellfire. Why? ضَيَّعُوا حُدُودَهُ وَأَحْكَامَهُ وَاسْتَحَلُّوا مَحَارِمَهُ. It's because these people who claim to love Quran and have Quran, they undermine hududah, the boundaries of the Holy Quran. Quran set boundaries for us. Do it this way, don't do it that way. But those people, they broke the boundaries of Quran. And they broke the ahkam, the rulings and the teachings of the Holy Quran. And they made what is haram halal to them. So Imam al-Mujtaba alayhi salam said, these are the type of people that the Holy Quran will drive them to the hellfire. May Allah save us, inshallah. Tonight, we're looking at Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the Holy Quran. And my aim is to paint a picture of how Sayyid al-Shuhada ensured that the Holy Quran was central or pivotal to everything that he did. Quran was central to his movement right from the beginning up to the end. And the ayah I quoted is Quran 2, verse 1 and 2. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Alif Lam Mim is حروف المقطعة, abbreviated words. But Allah says ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. That book, there is no doubt in it. Quran, no doubt. But my interest is this next ayah. هدى للمتقين. Quran is guidance for the pious. So examination of tonight will be of the following brief stages. The first stage, we'll look at how Sayyid al-Shuhada responded to some arguments using the verses of the Holy Quran. Imam Hussain alayhi salam made Quran number one. And every argument, every question that Imam alayhi salam was faced with, he made sure he answered those questions within the framework of his Quran. So that I and you who are his lovers and followers will also make Quran our qa'id, our leader. Second stage of the examination, we'll look at how his entire movement from the holy city of Medina to the holy city of Mecca and to the holy city of Karbala are all about Quran. It's all about Quran. I don't know if you've heard this before, but the entire movement of Imam al-Hussain, he kept quoting verses of the Holy Quran. And then the last stage, I'll just share with you two tafsir given by Sayyid al-Shuhada, just to give us a taste and a glimpse of the profound understanding of the Holy Quran of Abu Abdullah. You see, brothers and sisters, Quran is a guidance for mankind, isn't it? One ayah said that. Hudan linnas. But at the same time, Quran is a guidance for the pious ones. Hudan lil muttaqin. Likewise, Sayyid al-Shuhada is a guidance. Inna al-Husayna misbahul huda. Indeed, Hussain alayhi salam is the lantern or light of guidance. So Quran is a guide and Hussain is also a guide. Number two, look at this. Quran is still very relevant and the world is in need of Quran. Likewise, Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam is very relevant and the world is in need of Imam al-Hussain. And as it is said in the traditions, the name Hussain alayhi salam was mentioned many years before the birth of Imam al-Hussain. Prophets of Allah from Adam alayhi salam chanted the name Hussain alayhi salam. And typical example you all know very well. When Adam alayhi salam was inspired by Allah to recite those beautiful names, and on account of reciting those beautiful names, Allah moved Adam alayhi salam from a place to the other. And Allah showered Adam with his blessings, isn't it? When Adam mentioned, Ya Hamidu bihaqqi Mohammed, Ya Ali bihaqqi Ali, Ya Fatir as-samawati wal ardi bihaqqi Fatima, Ya Muhsin bihaqqi al-Hasani wal Hussain, wa minka al-ihsan. Adam, upon reciting the name of Hussain, he began to shiver. He stammered. Adam asked why. He said, because this Hussain will be slaughtered. So Hussain was mentioned, so Hussain is still relevant. Likewise, Quran is relevant. Quran is still alive. Hayyun is alive. Hussain alayhi salam is alive. Meaning what? The mission and the virtues established by Abu Abdullah are still alive. Another point is, the more I delve into the Holy Quran, the more I realize Quran is the deepest ocean. Likewise, the more I delve into the movement and the mission of Hussain alayhi salam, the more I realize the mission of Imam al-Hussain is the deepest one. So there's a very powerful correlation between the Holy Quran and Sayyid al-Shuhada. Here I invite you one and all, lovers of Imam al-Hussain. We all love Imam al-Hussain. We all spend a lot of money in the cause of Imam al-Hussain. We dedicate times and energy in the cause of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. Now look at Imam Hussein's teachings when it comes to the Holy Quran. And I and you know very well, Abu Abdullah salamullah alayh, like in the case of our beloved Imams, epitomized in a true sense of epitomizing verses of the Holy Quran to such an extent. Some of the surahs of the Holy Quran are said to be named after Abu Abdullah. People who understood how Abu Abdullah epitomized some of the verses of the Holy Quran, they said this surah is Surah Al-Hussain. Typical example, Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. Ahsantum, you know the verse. True believers, before they depart from this world, their souls are addressed by Allah. How are they going to be addressed? Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna, O the tranquil soul, irji'i ila rabbiki, return to your Lord. Why return to your Lord? Because the soul came from Allah. Our origin is Allah and our destination is Allah. That is why when we are about to depart from this world, said irji'i, go back. You came back from there, go back there. But radiyatan mardiyah, you are pleased with Allah and Allah is pleased with you. The one who embodied this ayah thoroughly is Imam al-Hussain. Imam al-Hussain is nafsul mutma'inna. And if you look at Karbala, he demonstrated that. At one point, Sayyid al-Shuhada said, whatever is happening to me, I found it so easy because I know it is under the watchful eyes of Allah. That's nafsul mutma'inna. That is why some scholars said, Suratul Fajr is Suratul Hussain. Because central to Suratul Fajr is Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna. Again, which I will indicate later on, inshallah. Some scholars, when they examine the personality of Imam al-Hussain and how he embodied the Holy Quran, he said Imam al-Hussain is Suratul Kahf. And there is a very profound verse of Suratul Kahf, which the head of Abu Abdullah recited. I will indicate to that, inshallah. Now pay attention kindly, brothers and sisters. Sayyid al-Shuhada responded to some arguments by using the verses of the Holy Quran. And as a Muslim, as a Shia, your first point of call when you are faced with either theological challenge, social challenge, bottom line, any religious challenge, should be Quran. Now I'm going to share stories with you and how Imam al-Hussain used Quran to ensure that the right answer or answers were given. Imam Ali alayhi salam, salawat. Went to the mosque in the holy month of Ramadan. And he was butchered in the mosque. He was butchered. After that, Ahl al-Bayt returned to Medina. Now Imam al-Hasan, kindly pay attention to this. Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam assumed the leadership of the Muslim Ummah, Imam of the time. They were in Medina. Still in Medina, there were a lot of enemies of Ahl al-Bayt. So at one point, Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam was walking in Medina, was passing by. As he was passing by, there were a group of Muslims sitting. And they were talking. They were talking. One of them was Umar ibn As. They were sitting. And of course, the other one, Abba Sa'id. They were all sitting. So as Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam was passing by, Umar ibn As said, looking at his friends, "Oh, my friends, if you want to see the light of heaven and earth, look at this man who is passing by." They looked at the man, they saw it's Hussain. Salamullah alayh. Then Abba Sa'id said to Umar ibn As, "Are you really serious? That if you want to see the light of heaven and earth, you should look at Hussain?" He said, "Yes, of course." Then Abba Sa'id said to Umar ibn As, "Why did you then attack his father Ali? Ali's just been killed. You were one of them. Now look at the answer of Umar ibn al-As. Kindly pay attention to this. Umar ibn al-As immediately went to Quran and quoted a verse of the Quran. That Allah says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. That we should be obedient to our parents. So I followed the instruction of my father, and hence I attacked Ali. Can you imagine? Even today there are people who lie and they use Quran to justify. There are people who commit haram, and when you ask them, they use Quran to justify, unfortunately. Now Abba Sa'id, upon hearing that, and you know very well, even some of those who sat next to the body of Hussain, who sat on the chest of Hussain, who kicked Hussain, while they were killing Abu Abdullah, they were calling Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Can you imagine that? Somebody saying Allahu Akbar and butchering the grandson of the Prophet. Abu Sa'id said to Umar ibn al-As, let us go to Hussain and ask him. Because you are telling me Hussain is the light of heaven and earth. Allahu Akbar. They went to Abu Abdullah, Salamullah alayh, and they asked Imam al-Hussain. You know what Imam Hussain said? He quoted a verse of the Quran. Chapter Luqman, verse 15. Open this verse. If you understand this verse, you will never entertain a haram, even if it is from your daughter. If you understand this verse, haram is over in your life, unless if it is totally beyond your control. Open the verse. We will not stop much on the verse because of time. Surah Luqman, verse 15. Surah Luqman, verse 15, chapter 31. Have you seen the verse? Allahu Akbar. This is the verse Imam Hussain used to respond to them. Look at the ayah. It's a very beautiful ayah. وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. It's talking about our parents, our fathers and mothers. If they endeavor to make you associate with me, meaning to commit something against Allah, don't follow them. But still be kind to them in this world. Say, for example, as a daughter, your father said to you, remove hijab. You can't. You can't. Or you as a father, your daughter said, no, I want to remove hijab. You can't say boarding pass. Go remove. Amr ibn As, if you look at the ayah, he said, I followed my father because Allah said, obey your father. But then, Imam al-Hussain referring to this ayah, you cannot follow your parent when it comes to sinning against Allah. You can't. But upon all that, you need to be kind to them. And you know this Banu Umayyah, what they did was to what? To abuse the verses of the Holy Quran for their own personal gains and selfish interest. That is one. Imam used this ayah. Let's go to the next one. Have you heard of Ash'af ibn Qais? You've heard of him. Who was he? Huh? The son of? Excellent. Who was he?
Like he was a brother-in-law of first caliph.
Yes. Who was he? You know him. You've done well. Yeah, he was in Karbala, true. But who was he? Many people were in Karbala. MashaAllah, you mentioned his father's name. You mentioned excellent. I love that.
He was father of Joda.
Not father. Who he was who to Jordan? Yes. Ash'as ibn Qais was a core enemy of Imam Ali.
Very big.
Core. Bitter enemy. We need to read history. He practically demonstrated his enmity to Imam Ali until the last part of his life. He had a son, and the name of the son is Mohammed ibn Ash'af. You know what Mohammed ibn Ash'af did? He was amongst those who blocked Muslim Bun Aqil in Kufa. I'm going there, Quran. He made it difficult for Muslim Bun Aqil in Kufa. And in Karbala, he participated alongside Umar ibn Sa'ad. So you know what he did? He had the guard. He went straight to Imam al-Hussain. Straight to Imam al-Hussain in Karbala. You know what he said to Imam Hussain? Why do you want us to respect you? What respect do you have? Allah has given power to these people. Why are you forcing it? What do you think Imam Hussain do? Who can tell me? What did he do? This is jealousy of Quran. Immediately, Imam Hussain referred him to Quran. You believe in Quran? Okay, yeah, here are the verses. You know which verse? 5 verses. Quran 3, verse 33 and 34. You can check it quickly because of time. Quran 3, verse 33 and 34. Surah Al Imran. Al Imran, check it. Verse 33 and 34. Huh? It begins there before Zuriyatan Habibi. Look at the ayah. I just want you to look at the ayah. And maybe one of you can tell me quickly why Imam Hussain used this ayah. So if you can get the mic around, but only one person because I don't have time today. I've got searching for the girls also later. Look at 33 and 34. This is the ayah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna Allah astafa Adam wa Nuha. Inna Allah astafa Adam wa Nuha wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran. وآل عمران على العالمين ذرية بعضها من بعض والله سميع عليم. Look at the ayah. Imam Hussain referred them to this. Why? Who can tell me quickly? Why? Give to us quickly. Why?
Because he's the family of the Prophet. That's why.
Huh?
Because he's the family of the Prophet.
Yeah, that's okay. You've done well, but more. I need more. Give him the mic quickly, quickly. That's true, Raza, but more, deeper, more. Why Imam Hussain used these verses?
Just to get to confirm, like, I'm the chosen one.
Chosen one from who?
Like from the family.
Which family? Ali Imran, are you sure? Look at the ayah. You are all right. He want to inform him that I am a chosen one. From Ali Ibrahim. Ahsant. Nasli Ibrahim. Because if good, in Allah astafa Adam. Allah chose Adam. He chose Noah. He chose what? Ala Ibrahim. Hussain is from Ala Ibrahim. Muhammad ibn Ashas came Why do you want us to respect you? Okay, the way you respect Adam, the way you respect Noah, the way you respect Ali, Ibrahim, Yaqub, Ismail, same respect should be accorded to me because I am from the nasl of Ibrahim. Quran. And we can prove this even in other verses of the Holy Quran. So that's number 2. Imam will say, use Quran. The last example on this, then we go forward. The governor of Medina during Yazid time. Who was the governor? Of Medina. Huh? May God bless you. Actually, your history is good. Inshallah, your history is good. Walid. They invited Imam Hussain to the palace. Walid was there, Marwan was there. When Imam Hussain came, they said, we only want one thing. You will not go out of this place without paying allegiance. Bay'ah. And they insisted on Imam Hussain to give bay'ah. Of course, that bay'ah is indirectly for Yazid, the son of Muawiyah. What did Imam Hussain do? Who can tell me? What did he do? What did Imam Hussain do? He was in the palace. Huh? He will pay allegiance in public. Okay, he refused. True, he refused. But how did he refuse it? Yeah, that's the hadith. Don't worry about that. It's true. He's saying, Haji Yasser is saying, Prophet said, Misli la yuba'i misla. Someone like me will not stretch his arm or hand to someone like him because the Yazid is fasik and sharib al-khamar.
He said he would answer in front of public.
Okay, you will answer in front, but that's okay. He quoted a verse.
He said, it's no point to just give it just me and you. It should be in front of the public.
That's what he's saying. No point me giving you in front of these people. That's true. But my point is not all this. Quran. We need to be familiar with Quran. You know the ayah he quoted? Quran 33 verse 33. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم. Why did he quote? He's trying to say, you are rijis and I am mutahhar. He quoted this ayah. That's Quran. Don't go far. Quran. Stick to Quran. Wallah, stick to Quran. And I can give you more examples of this. But I said, let's stick to these 3. Otherwise, there are so many verses. They came with arguments, and Imam Hussain will just pull a verse and throw. So that is one. Shubahat. Let's go to the second one, which is a bit painful ones. His movement started where? Where did the movement of Imam Hussain start? No, yeah, that's the month. Where? Medina. To Mecca. And from Mecca to Karbala, al-Muqaddasa. When leaving Medina, he bidded farewell. He even went to the grave of his mom because he knew where she was buried. And he went to the grave of his grandfather, the Holy Prophet. The Ummah have abandoned him. The grandson of the Holy Prophet now is going. Who were with him? Children and women. Because some said to him, don't go. But what did he do? As he was leaving Medina, he recited a very powerful verse of the Quran. Ya Allah, please put phones on silence, please. While he was leaving Medina, he recited very powerful verse. Surah Al-Qasas, verse 21. I'm going to ask you, which verse is that verse? You should know. Open Surah Al-Qasas, verse 21. You should know which verse is this verse. Chapter, man. You are an Arab, you need to know all this. 48, yeah. 28, verse 21. 28, verse 21. Look at it. You know the ayah? فخرج منها خائفا يترقب قال رب نجني من القوم الظالمين. Who is that? Imran Bhai? This verse is about who? Which prophet? Subhanallah. Musa. When Musa was leaving Misr, Egypt, that's what happened. So you want to see Musa of that time? Look at Hussain ibn Ali. So Abu Abdullah, as he was leaving Medina, he recited. These are very profound. If we are to do the tafsir of this verse, I think you have few nights to do this tafsir. Wallahi. Abu Abdullah recited this verse. Why? To indicate to all that my mission is divine and prophetic mission. I am continuing with the mission of all the prophets of Allah. That is why Hussain is the summary of the missions of all the prophets. That's why he recited this verse. Now again, you remain there, don't close that verse. When he reached Makkah, he recited the next verse, 22. Look at the verse. He arrived in Makkah, he recited this verse. ولما توجه تلقاء مدين قال عسى ربي أن يهديني سواء السبيل. Musa alayhi salam, when he arrived in the city of Madian, that's what he said. The city of his brother prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam. So Abu Abdullah, when he arrived in Makkah, he recited this verse. Asa Rabbi an yahdiyani sawa as-sabil. Look at the translation, beautiful. Perhaps my Lord will guide me to the right or to the sound path. In other words, Abu Abdullah salamullah alayh, whatever he undertook and he led, Allah was his guide. And that is why he would always quote Quran. So that is the beginning of the mission. Now on the day of Ashura, Allah, he came next to Imam Zain al-Abidin. And he whispered into his ears a verse of the Quran. This verse, I personally regard it as a big lesson. Chapter Mujadala, verse 19. You know Mujadala? I know Rushan uncle will ask which chapter. What's the chapter? Mujadala. Mujadala, Al-Mujadala. Ahsant, 58, verse 19. Check it, verse 19. Today we are talking about Sayyid Shuhada in Quran, isn't it? So we need to give you so many verses, man. Thank you. Look at the ayah. You just take your lessons there, isn't it? Allahu Akbar. Ayah 19. You get the point? Ahsan. He came and he whispered into the ears of Imam Zain al-Abidin. Salam Allah.
Right path. We are on the right path.
Alhamdulillah. Allah ka shukr. Imam Hussain told him, these are the people we are faced with. استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله. Look at the ayah. فأنساهم ذكر الله أولئك حزب الشيطان ألا إن حزب الشيطان هم الخاسرون. Look at the ayah. You have two camps. Some people were wondering, these other camps, they are also Muslims. They are doing Zuhr, they are doing Asr, they are doing Maghrib, they are doing Isha. They are reciting Quran, they memorize the whole Quran. But upon all that, they are attacking and butchering the grandson of the Prophet. Abu Abdullah went to the next Imam of the time. Istahwada alayhim ash-shaytan. Shaitan has overcome them. فَأَنْصَاهُمْ ذِكْرَ اللَّهِ. They are Shaitan party. That's why they are attacking us. So Imam al-Hussain used this verse to indicate to everyone through Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, these are Hizbu Shaitan. There is no khair and barakah in them. Allahu Akbar. Now come. For every companion who came to Imam Hussain for permission to go to the battlefield, he would recite Quran. And when he will go to the body of the matter, he will recite the Quran. As you know very well, some scholars, when they painted the picture, they said Imam Hussain had Safa and Marwa in Karbala. Safa is Katligo, and Marwa is Khaymaga. You go Makkah, you do 7 times. Imam Hussain had tens of Safa and Marwa. What were the Qurbani of Imam Hussain? Dead bodies, Shuhada. But for every Shaheed, he would recite a verse of the Quran. Now I'm going to give you a test here. You need to know this verse because you heard this verse a lot from this member. Not me, some other scholars who came here. So I'm going to give you a test and I'm going to see how you can pull a verse from the Quran. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه. Do you know which ayah is that? Use your Quran, use your app. I don't know which app you're using. There are apps you can get it overnight. Within a minute or less than a minute you can get. I've got the verses here with me, obviously. Which one do you think? Min al-mu'minina rijalun. Amongst believers there are men. You know the verse? Allahu Akbar. Check the verse, man. Last verse of Imam Hussain. Thank you. Smashed it. Smashed it. Chapter 33, verse 23. Imam Hussain will recite this ayah. فَمِنُهُمْ مَنْ قَضَى نَحْبَهُ وَمِنُهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. Amongst men, مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ رِجَالٌ. Amongst believers there are men. صَدَقُوا مَا أَحَدُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. They testified and they implemented what they promised Allah. Some of them done it. Qada nahba. They've done it and some are still waiting to do. So that's why he said, there's never been a companion like mine. That is another example. The next one is Imam al-Hussain and Ali al-Akbar. You know what happened to Ali al-Akbar. See, the way they killed him, they used a dagger. You know dagger, isn't it? Yeah. And they dagged on his chest. So the dagger appeared from behind. That's how they killed Ali al-Akbar. Salamullah alayhi. And he was with his father. And you know what the father said to him? He referred him to Quran 3, the one we did, 33, 34. Inna Allah has tafa Adam, Allah has chosen Adam and Noah. Now the next example, which will be the last example, are the most painful ones. Because the head of Imam Hussain now recited Quran. Head recited Quran. And I will share verses, at least 2 verses I will share with you because I've got 5 minutes to go. Head. Some people come forward and said, how is that possible? I said, not only the head of Imam Hussain, some other heads recited Quran also. Typical example, Yahya the son of Zakaria. Because Yahya, you see there are a lot of similarities between him and Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. You can make your own research. So the way they were born, the way they were called, so many examples. The months of the pregnancy, so many. Some said 6 months pregnancy. Yahya's head mentioned God. Another example is Mu'minu Ali Yasin. Who is Mu'min Ali Yasin? What's the name? What's the name of Mu'min Ali Yasin, the believer of the Ali Yasin? What is his name? Come on, guys. Bio. Imran, not really. No, not Prophet Muhammad. No. This is somebody else. Not Elias, really. You recite Yasin every Thursday. You know the name, I think you know. But you just forgot. No, not Imam Hussain, not Abdul Muttalib, not closer to that. There is somebody, Mu'min Ali Yasin, that his history is central to chapter Yasin. His history is central to Surah Yasin, Surah 36. Habibun Najjar. You heard of Habibun Najjar? Have you heard of Habibun Najjar?
Yeah, was the first person who have Iman on Imam Musa, Hazrat Musa.
Ahsant. Yasin is central to him. Yes, we know when we say Ali Yasin, we're referring to Ali al-Bayt. That's another meaning of Ali Yasin. But here we're talking of, if you know the commentary of Surah Yasin, is Habibun Najjar. Some interpretation said, when he departed, because they killed him, isn't it? He got killed. His head recited, قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين. قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون. He said, I wish my people know. Know what? بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين. The forgiveness of my Lord. And he made me amongst honorable in his sight. Chapter Yasin, I think it's verse 26 and 27. But Yasin, you know Yasin. Habibun Najjar. Read about his history. The other head which spoke is what? Ja'far ibn Abu Talib. Who was Ja'far? The brother to? Son to Imam Ali. Where was he killed? Ahsantum, the battle of Mu'atta. Jazakallah khair. Actually, your history is good. Ja'far recited, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء ما شاء الله. Don't ever regard those slain in the way of Allah are dead, but they are alive. Chapter Al Imran, verse 169, that's the ayah. Quran 3. The head of Ja'far, yes, during the battle of Mu'atta. Now the other painful example is that of Imam al-Hussain. The head of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam quoted verses of the Holy Quran. I'm going to give you 2 verses. And what I want you to do these verses, when you go home, find time. Please, find time. Explore the verses. Explore. You will not regret. You will not. One of them, Surah Al-Shu'ara, verse 2 to 7. 26. May Allah bless you, Roshan uncle. Classic. Surah Al-Shu'ara. If you don't know this ayah, then I think you need to review the way you attend the majlis. Al-Shu'ara, ayah 2 to 7. I said this, you will check it home, but it's the last ayah. Look at the ayah. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وذكروا الله كثيرا وانتصروا من بعد ما ظلموا وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Do you know this ayah? If you don't know this ayah, then you need to review attending your majalis. Do you know this ayah, brothers and sisters? If you know, one loud salawat for me. If you don't know the ayah, one loud salawat for me. Oh. No, I don't know, man. Say tawqir, which is what? So those who say they know the ayah, where did you hear this ayah before? Especially this one. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. At the end of a Gambayan, Masa'ib, after every Masa'ib, every Maulana, whether Zakir or Sheikh or scholar, will say, أَلَا لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. Why? Because those who slain Ahlul Bayt committed atrocities and injustice. So the head of Abu Abdullah is where the mullahs and the dhakirs got this from. Imam Hussain said, don't worry. Allah will attend to them. They will get their results. Allahu Akbar. And the last one, Ibn Shara Ashub, of course, in Manaqib. Manaqib is in the book. He narrated this. That Zayd ibn Arqam was in a room with the head of Imam al-Hussain. Of course, you know, when they killed Imam Hussain, when they butchered him, Khuli ran away with the head. And he played with the head of Imam Hussain before they put spears on the head. He poked the lips and played with the beard of Imam Hussain. But Zayd ibn Arqam, when he saw, according to Ibn Shara Ashub, the head recited verse number 9 of Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf. This, some scholars call it Surah Al-Hussain, salamullah alayhi. Ayah said, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahf wal-raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba. Don't you think that the people of the cave, and Raqim is the place where the cave is located, are not of our astonishing signs? The ayat al-uzma of Allah. Innahum fityatun amanu bi rabbihim wa zidnahum huda. So Imam Hussain alayhi salam reciting this to say, if Ashabul Kahf are ayat of Allah, I am also ayah of Allah. So Allah, you can see tonight what I've done is just to quote verses of the Holy Quran, how Imam Hussain quoted verses. This to show Quran is at the heart of the mission of Ahl al-Bayt. Imam Hussain gave tafsirs. I will, inshallah, tomorrow I will begin with those one or two of those tafsirs. But what I would like to conclude here, brothers and sisters, is that whenever you cry for Imam Hussain, whenever you cry for Imam Hussain, let your cry be a pledge to hold on to the Holy Quran. Because he fought for Quran. I say this always. When I remember Karbala, Quran comes to mind. Hussain is about Quran. I remember, this line when Shah Qasim came to Hussain for permission. And Hussain alayhi salam looked at Shah Qasim. He said to him, stay behind, look after your mother. Qasim left. Then the mother sent him back. One narration said no. As he was going, he heard Imam Hussain calling, Hal min nasir yansuruni. So he came back. But Hussain sent him back. The mother now gave him the letter of Imam al-Hassan. She opened the box, she gave him, take it to Hussain. In that letter, Imam Hassan said to Hussain, O Garibu Karbala, a time will come when I will not be here. Let my sons represent me. That broke the heart of Hussain. Imam Hussain held the hand of Qasim. He went and opened the box and he removed the turban of Imam al-Hassan. And he placed it on the head of Qasim. And he gave him the stick of Imam al-Hassan. Now Qasim, go. But before you go to Khaymagan. Your mother Ramla, your auntie Zainab, they go and bid your farewell. When Qasim entered, the ladies began to cry. Why? Because he reminded them of Hassan al-Mushtaba. Qasim now went to the battlefield. He tried his level best. Every time when he killed someone, he will call out, "Oh Abbas, are you proud of me?" But you know very well how they killed Qasim, isn't it? This is the line. They came and surrounded Qasim. And they started chopping the body of Qasim. But while Qasim was falling on the ground, Qasim called out, "Agithni ya Amma! Agithni ya Amma! Rescue and assist me, oh my uncle! My uncle, rescue me!" Abu Abdullah came out. By the time he got to the body of Qasim, they already chopped the body into pieces. Abu Abdullah said, "I'm sorry, Qasim, I couldn't make it on time." But now Abu Abdullah had to gather the pieces of the flesh of Qasim. We are told while he was gathering, some of the flesh was falling down. He tried with rope to gather the flesh of Qasim. And he took it next to Khaymaga, and he covered it. When Bibi Ruqayya saw, she came, she said, Qasim, why are you sleeping? He said, no, it's not sleeping. The body is being chopped into pieces. This is what Karbala is all about. And hence Hussain will recite verses of the Holy Quran. Ala la'natullah ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Wa saya'lamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalabin yanqalibun. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We pray for our marhumin. May Allah forgive them, inshallah. May Allah grant them Jannat al-Firdaus. May Allah grant us the visitation of Aba Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam. May Allah nourishes our souls and hearts with the Holy Quran, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi tahirin. Al-Fatiha.